What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nathan. I am a 24-year-old runner living in Seattle, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through 10 running essentials that I can't live without. And of course, what better way to start off a run than with proper nutrition? So without further ado, let's get into this top 10. And of course, at number one, we are starting off with Element electrolytes. Now, while I might not take these every single day just because I'm not made of money and they are relatively expensive, but these are my go-to electrolyte mix. They are perfect for before runs, after runs. At least this flavor tastes freaking incredible. The watermelon salts, they have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, and they basically just help you recover really well. They prepare you for your runs so you don't get crampy during your runs. This specific brand has no sugar, no gluten, no dodgy ingredients, paleo keto friendly and vegan friendly. I'm not sure what electrolytes wouldn't be vegan friendly, but oh well. And yeah, as you guys can see, only 5 calories per serving. So it's not gonna set you back in any shape or form in that way. I've tried out multiple different brands of electrolytes, and these are usually ones that I end up going to just because of the taste and the flavor. And I really like electrolytes that taste salty to me. And this is pretty much just straight salt. So I love them. And yeah, can't really go wrong with these. Man, that is so good. And sticking on the nutrition train, we have dates at number 2. Now I've tried both regular dates and medjool dates. These ones are from Costco. These ones are 100 times better. They're so much creamier and tastier. If you guys know, you know that the taste difference is really there. But yeah, I have become a really big fan of dates, especially this last 5 months. I think I just started taking them in August. But I really like them because they're quick and easy. A lot of times I can't get down like a full breakfast or even a good amount of food in the morning. So just popping these back is really quick and easy for my digestive system. They're super fast acting carbs. So, before something like a run, you're able to eat these, maybe 30 minutes before a run, and they'll give you some good energy. So if you're cut for time, I think these things are a really good option. And they're kind of fun to eat. You can like bite them, chew them, toss them up, play with them, catch them, all sorts of stuff that, you can't do with, say, oatmeal. So I love these things and pretty much have about 3 of them almost every single day for the last 5 months when I'm running. So yeah, these are essential. Date trick shot. All right, and our final nutritional item in the kitchen here is the BPN Go Gels. So here I just have a variety pack of some of their most popular flavors. We got apple cinnamon, mixed berry, and mango. It's kind of what they look like inside here. But yeah, they're all 100 calories, just full of carbs and sugars. These are great for something that you can just pack in your pocket on your longer runs and efforts when you need a little pick-me-up, you need some energy during your run. And again, kind of like the electrolytes, I've tried a bunch of different gels in my lifetime and my experience, and these seem to be the ones that have the best combination of flavor and texture and just ability to kind of like go down into my digestive system and not absolutely destroy my innards. So I usually go with these, and these definitely aren't going to be something I'm using on my everyday runs. Usually I stick to these when I'm running anything over 9 or 10 miles, which is for me right now considered a long run. So on something like a 9 or 10 mile long run, I'll probably just have one of these. But on something where it gets closer to 1 hour, 40 minutes plus maybe 2 hours, I'll usually have 2 of these, which I'll eat at halfway to give me some energy. And then of course, during a race, like a half marathon or a marathon, I think I took 3 of these during my half marathon race. And while these might work for me, definitely go with what works for you guys. You know, these work with my stomach. I like the flavors, I like the ingredients, but they might not work for you. So test out a bunch of different gels and see which ones your stomach really responds to, because sometimes in training, it doesn't automatically, you know, go the same as if you were running in a race, because, you know, you might be taking longer breaks or resting or things like that. So definitely test them out before your race day, and you'll have a much better experience. All right, so next up, I'm going to be going over my essential apparel items that I really can't live without as a runner. So at number 4, as you can see, we have a running hat. I'm usually rocking the brand Ciele, which I think is a French-based brand from Montreal, I want to say. This is a specific collab hat with Go One More, which is the brand BPN. But I really like the shape of their hats. I like the breathability of their hats. A lot of, you know, just regular baseball caps you see out there are not breathable. They're made of like a really thick material. They stain and sweat marks show up on them really easily. So something like this is really easy to put on. It's breathable. And then, you know, when you're done sweating in it, you can throw it in the wash, forget about it. And it usually comes out fresh as new every single time. So I've got this hat. I've got the exact same hat with just the Ciele branding in white. And thankfully today's not too cold, but if it was, I would usually be repping this Arc'teryx beanie. My ears get super cold when it's usually anything below 40 degrees outside. So pop this guy on, it covers up the entire head, the ears. And yeah, it definitely makes you feel kind of I don't know what the word is, maybe just like badass wearing a beanie. Kind of feel like Rocky. You're training for a big race, you're locked in. So the beanie look is always fun. And then at number 5, we have the Lululemon half tights. I've tested so many other half tights in my life. I don't know why I got started on them exactly, but I've tried things like split shorts, normal shorts, pants, whatever the situation is on the bottom half, but half tights always seem to do it for me. I think I do have a bit bigger thighs than I would say most dudes. So whenever I've worn, you know, shorter shorts, my thighs tend to rub together and that causes some sort of rash or irritation. So I think half tights, them, you know, going down a certain distance, have always made it just simply more comfortable for me. I know a lot of guys might be afraid to rock half tights, but shoot, dude, I'll tell you, they are a magical experience. Feels like there's nothing on your bottom half, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I love them. And I guess in addition to that, you know, you can fit a bunch of things in your pockets. So I'll put things like gels in here, my AirPods, my keys, and then on this side, I'm usually rocking my phone. And yeah, the material is just so freaking high quality with these things. And these things are always out of stock. I had to sign up for notifications on my size on the Lululemon site in order to get them. I actually have another exact same pair of these in the new gray colorway that came out a month or 2 ago. And then I also have the full length tights as well, because it does get chilly here in the winter in Seattle. But yeah, I mean, just the material, the quality, the care, I really, really enjoy. I've tried John G, I've tried Nike, I've tried a bunch of different ones, and just kind of the whole package with the pockets, the fit, the feel, the look, I really can't complain with these half tights. They make me feel fast, they make me feel good, and that's what matters, right? And maybe as a bonus essential, I have my sweet and spicy tea here. We're not going to count it today, but I got to shout out the tea that I drink every morning, because I don't know if I could live without this either. So cheers to that. All right, folks, welcome to the trailhead. We have 5.5 easy miles on the agenda today. And of course, you can't run without running shoes. So my 6th essential of the day are running shoes. Now, which pair am I going to be running with today? That is the question. I usually rotate between 2 pairs of shoes, one of those being the Adidas Adizero Evo SLs. These are my go-to speed work and long run shoes. You can also use them for easy runs as well. They're probably one of the most versatile running shoes out there on the market at what I think is a really reasonable price point. Now, I paid half off for these because I got them at the Adidas employee store, but they're about $150, which may seem steep for some, but for a shoe that can kind of do it all, I think that is a smacking deal. Not to mention, they look absolutely gorgeous. Now, I've only ran in this pair at least once or twice, so they are clean as a whistle right now. But yeah, no, they look freaking gorgeous. They look like a zebra. They make you feel fast. They look fast. I don't really have anything bad to say about them so far. They feel really good on my feet, and I've been enjoying them a lot. This black pair was actually my first pair, and I liked them so much I had to get the white pair for when it's a bit drier out, but I usually go to these usually when it's kind of rainy or crappy weather. But yeah, I even got 2 pairs because I do love them so much. So those shoes are my usual speed work or long run shoes if I have speed work in the long run. But for an easy day like today, I will go with the Nike Vomero Plus. Again, they look absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. This icy blue color is just a chef's kiss. But yeah, they're super duper cushiony, lots of support, kind of running on a cloud if you could compare it to that. But yeah, I'll usually go with these as my easy day shoe because I'm trying to reduce the impact on my joints, on my muscles. So these help alleviate a lot of that stress. And it's actually good to run in different pairs of shoes because it gets your foot adjusted to kind of different striking patterns and different muscles in the foot, in the toes that you normally don't use. And it really, strengthens them and gives them kind of a new experience, which are good for your foot health. So yeah, I'm gonna be rocking these today. Thankfully, it's not too rainy and wet outside. Oh yeah, those are clean. Now, I'm actually feeling a little bit sore today because I did have a leg workout in the gym yesterday. So I usually don't take this out until after my runs, but since I'm feeling so sore, I'll be introducing my 7th essential of the day, which is the Theragun Mini. This is basically just a miniature portable massage gun that I use pretty much solely on my legs after either a run or a leg workout or pickleball, whatever I'm doing that really uses my legs a lot. It's a fantastic way to get rid of all that lactic acid buildup in your legs and prevents you from feeling a lot more sore than you usually would the next day without using it. Now, on the highest setting, this thing can definitely cause me to wince a little bit from the pain, but I know it's good for me. And using this as a tool to recover and make me feel better, more energized, less sore for my next runs. I mean, you can't really put a price tag on that if it coincides with something like health. So I think this is a really, really good essential for anyone to have in their car, at home, in their bedroom, whatever you need. This thing is pretty awesome. And as you can see, this thing has 3 different settings that you can use. So if you are feeling really, really sore one day, you're welcome to use the first setting, which is lighter, but I usually go to the 3rd and final setting just to kind of get it done with, to be honest. And since I've been traveling the last week and a half, I haven't hit legs at the gym for almost 3 weeks. So yesterday doing that definitely, oh my God, is making me pretty dang sore. All right, now just before I leave on this easy run, I'm going to be introducing my 8th essential for running, which is my Coros Pace 3 running watch. I got this thing about 8 months ago, kind of when I started this YouTube channel, and I can honestly say it's a fantastic running watch for the price point, for the features it has, for the incredible battery life. You really can't go wrong with this thing. I just took it to Guatemala for 8 days and it lasted the entire time with I think 3 or 4 runs and 2 hikes. So the battery life on this thing is pretty elite. I did have a Garmin before this, and I honestly prefer this over the Garmin, not even just for the cheaper price point, but I think the AI and the UI, the app interface is really, really easy to use and pretty, and I think it just works really seamlessly with my lifestyle. I'm not too picky when it comes to running watches, but I know this thing definitely does the job for me. Some of my friends have it, they really like it, so I think for $229 full price, you really can't go wrong with a running watch. This one specifically, the Coros Pace 3. All right, we have finally made it out on our run, which coincides with our 9th essential, which, as you can tell, are AirPods. Of course, I'm not playing anything right now at the moment, but if I were to be, we got music, we got podcasts, we got phone calls. These are an absolute essential for running. They serve as a really good way to distract yourself from the inevitable or current pain that you're experiencing. It's always fun to listen to some, upbeat music on a hard run, learn something from a podcast or an audiobook, or if you're feeling fun, call on a friend, family member. So I think these are the AirPods 4s, which means they have noise canceling. So especially somewhere at the gym, it's really nice to be able to block out people around you, but they do also give you the option for transparency, especially good for running, so you can hear people coming past you, bikes, cars, etc. But yeah, I really can't go without these. Of course, I can run without AirPods, but they are super nice to have when you want to tune into something. Oh my goodness. All right, that is run done. 5.5 miles, 54:26 total time, 9:54 average pace. Legs were definitely feeling it from that workout yesterday, but we got it done. That's the most important thing. Got to grind out some days like this where they don't feel 100%. Nevertheless, we're going to be heading home and talking about our 10th and final running essential. So I'll see you guys back at home. All right, folks, we have now returned home. We are currently in my bed, about to start work, and my final essential of the day, a recovery essential, are these Therabody Jet Boots Prime. They're essentially full leg massage boots where they compress in 4 separate chambers, starting at the feet and then working their way up to the hips, quads area. I think I got these last May or June, and they're definitely an investment, but for me, as someone who works out as often as I do, especially using my lower body for most of my activity, these things are really handy for me. Not so much necessarily for reducing soreness, but for reducing inflammation and joint pain. So for things like running and pickleball and volleyball, where I'm using my joints a lot and my knees maybe not hurting, but are definitely feeling a little tender after, those activities. These things definitely help a lot with the de-inflammation. So instead of something like a cold bath, it might not fully replace it, but these do a really good job at kind of mimicking the feeling of reducing the pain and the inflammation in the joints. So pretty much every single morning, I'll get in on my bed, put these things on, and then work on my laptop for about an hour. And it's basically just a free way to help me recover quicker. But with that being said, the number one form of recovery, as I've mentioned in a lot of my videos, is sleep. So it's something you don't have to pay for. You don't have to compare yourself to others about. It's something that everyone can get. They can get as much as they want, as little as they want, of course, depending on certain lifestyle conditions. But sleep is the number one important thing. I'm lucky enough to have these as well as my massage gun. But if you're not getting the proper amount of sleep, I try to aim for about 8 hours every night, then you are going to be suffering in your runs and your activities in life in general. So make sure to prioritize that as the first thing. And with that being said, those are my 10 running essentials that I cannot live without. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, and comment down below what your number one running essential is. And make sure to stick around because I am only about 3 months away from my sub 130 half marathon attempt at the Eugene Half Marathon at the end of April. So stick around, see what's going on, see what's happening. Make sure to follow along, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.